Warrior fans, welcome back to another edition of DUBS Playoff Watch. Well, this is why we were doing this all these weeks, following the standings, all the what-if scenarios, all the tiebreakers, who owns a tiebreaker, what happens if they lose, they win, who plays who. Now we know. And let me just say, it's playoff time, the play-in tournament is here, and I've got my playoff jacket on, ready to go. I'm excited. Warriors did what they need to do. Did they take care of business? Yes, they did. They went 8-2 over their last 10. They went off down the stretch. Yet came down to that head-to-head game against the Grizzlies, but they took care of business. No question about it. And we're going to take a look at how the standings ended up. We're going to take a look at the actual play-in tournament, who's going to be playing who. And for us Warrior fans, Wednesday is the day that we most care about. Tomorrow, Tuesday, the East will start, and we're going to take a look at that here shortly. But let's talk about some of the key contributors. So as I mentioned, the Warriors are 8-2 over their last 10. They won 6 in a row down the stretch. And obviously, Steph Curry is the biggest reason. Not only is he the leading candidate, arguably the leading candidate for MVP of the league, but he did capture the NBA scoring title. And he did that. He ended up with 31.98 points per game. So nearly 32 for you mathematicians out there and statistical wizards that like to estimate. To Beal's 31.3. So kudos to Steph. Congratulations for the scoring title. And they did, of course, as we mentioned, seal that 8th spot. And let's not forget, what did that mean down the stretch? Steph Curry, I'm going to go through some of the stats real quick of just a few of the key contributors, and I am going to start with Steph. So against the Grizzlies, 46 points, 7 boards, 9 assists. Pelicans, they rested, they didn't play. Against the Suns, 21 points. It was a rough night from three-pointing range, only 1 for 11. But he had 6 assists, 3 boards. When they played the Jazz the night before, he had 36, 4, 6. Thunder, 49 points. Let's just go right down the line. The game before against the Thunder, 34 points. Game before against the Pelicans, 37. The game before that against the Pelicans, 41. The Rockets, 30. The Timberwolves, 37. He's unbelievable. All right. Speaking of somebody who's unbelievable, that just plays his role better than anybody in the NBA. And he's, heaven forbid, we should never, ever say that Draymond is a role player, because he's not. He is an elite basketball player, but he does so many things well to contribute, and he's so unselfish. He's not worried about putting points up. He's worried about setting his guys up to score. He's worried about playing defense. He's worried about boards. He's worried about facilitating not only the offense, but the defense especially. All right, let's go through some of his numbers. I'm going to start with the Grizzlies, work our way back. 14 points, 9 boards, 9 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks against the biggest game of the year. Just win 1 out of 2 to get in the NBA tournament, the championship tournament, or you only get 1 shot to win 1 game and end up there. They did what they needed to do. Draymond was a big part of it, obviously. He also wrestled against Pelicans, the Suns, 11, 10, 11, 4 steals. Jazz, 12 points, 6 boards, 10 assists. 2 steals. Thunder, 15 points, 5 boards, 13 assists, 2 steals. Thunder again, only put in 5 points, but he had 9 boards and 9 assists and 1 block. Against the Pelicans, 7, 12, 9, 1, and 2. And then the prior game of the Pelicans on May the 3rd, 10, 13, and 15, 3, and 2. It never ends. And most recently, he's been more aggressive, trying to put a few buckets. If they're going to open it up for him, he's not only going to take the shot, he's going to create. He does so many things well. So many things. It's unbelievable. And let's talk about the Iron Man of the team, Wiggins. Didn't miss a game, except for a deliberate sit out and rest against the Pelicans by Coach Kerr. Wiggy, let's just go down points. Grizzly, work our way back. 21, 38, 14, 18, 18, 26, 26, 20, 27. Holy cow. Let's look at rebounds. 10, 7, 5, 3, 7, 6, 4, 2, 4. The man is on a mission, playing better than he's ever played his entire career. Why? He knows where he fits into this team. The players, the organization. Unbelievable. Did you guys know that Wiggins from the Timberwolves, that was kind of up and down, that he was going to be the Iron Man of the team, play every single game, play hard all the time. Have you seen the Euro power drive that he does every game, at least multiple times a game? Where'd that come from? His defense. Oh, love Wiggins. I cannot wait till we see Steph, Clay, and Wiggins and Draymond on the floor all at the same time. Oh, and let's not forget about other contributors as well. Let's look at JTA's numbers. Starting with the Grizzlies. 9 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals. The guy works his butt off. Okay, he did not rest against the Pelicans the game before last. 9 points, 9 boards, 9 assists. He played 33 minutes that game. When his minutes go up, his productivity goes up. Amazing how that happens, but that doesn't happen to all players. Guys can play more minutes and still just be not as productive. I mean, they're plus minus. It could be just minus. All right, against the Suns, 7, 5, 6. Against the Jazz, 5, 7, 5, 4. 4 steals that game. 12 points against the Thunder. 9 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. This guy, the game before against the Thunder, 7 points, but again, 9 boards, 8 assists. This young man deserved a multi-year contract, got it for his work effort, and man, what a blessing he has been to this team. Amazing. Okay, now let's also, if we could, I need to talk about a young man here who, I kept wanting to call him a hesitation sensation, because when he was on the floor, he got the ball, he was hesitating when he'd take a shot, or before he'd take a shot, I should say. So he wouldn't take a shot, or he'd end up taking a shot after he hesitated and his reluctance. And that would affect his shooting, look like confidence issue, whatever it was. I know he came back from the G League. He was playing super with his ball in his hands. He's super creative on the floor. And didn't know that he had the quickness that he has, the moves that he has, his ability now to finish, and he's got his perimeter shooting down now. when he is aggressive and he does not hesitate, especially when he knows that he is the man on the floor. They're looking to him to score. When Steph sits, wow, he has been something else here recently. Let's take a look at just his last several games. In terms of points, 15, 38, 20, 20, 16, 14, 9, 11, 17. And he had against the Pelicans when he played 33 minutes. Obviously, he didn't rest either. He got 4 boards and kicked in 6 assists. He had 1 block. But his scoring, his ball handling, man, he is right where the Warriors need him to be at this time. Everybody is contributing. Mulder is contributing. Bazemore is contributing. The entire team is contributing. And hopefully look for the latest on Damian Lee. I don't see any projection on when he might return, but based on recent reports, it sounds like it's got to be close for the amount of time he's been out now, knowing that he's had vaccination too. So hopefully he is healthy. That's the first concern. Make sure he's okay. And if he is, then, man, we cannot wait to see him back on the court to represent the Golden State Warriors as they make this run. All right, so let's segue into that. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. Okay, so obviously we are not tracking, what if scenarios any longer, as I mentioned earlier. But I wanted to show you this real quick since this is the final snapshot of the regular season where everybody ended up. And for the teams that had to win, let's see how they did. Warriors, like I said, won 6 in a row, 8-2 over their last 10. The Blazers are 8-2 over their last 10. They had won their last game. The Suns were 7-3 over their last 10, had won 3 in a row. And the Grizzlies were 6-4 and lost their last game to the Warriors, as we all know. And the Spurs just 2-8. And they lost their last 4 in a row. So I want to show you that as and we'll take a look at the East before we segue into the play-in tournament bracket. So here's the East standings as the season wrapped up, where everybody landed. And as predicted, the Hornets would fall to 10th, which they did. They lost 5 in a row. They're 3-7 over their last 10. Of course, they did have a lot of injuries, and Hayward was still out. Wizards ended up in the 8th spot. As you can see, they ended up winning 2 in a row. They were only 6-4 over the last 10, but Beal did miss 2 games due to a hamstring, and I know that that thing was still nagging him. Celtics were just 4-6. The teams that were very good, very hot over the last 10, the Heat. Look out for the Heat. They're the same squad they were last season, only a year more experienced, more chemistry, and they know what they need to do to win. So anybody who's going up against the Heat in that, from anybody in the playoff brackets, but even the teams in the top 4, they got to play the Heat. That is going to be a battle. You can guarantee that is going to be the case. The Hawks look good. 7-3 over the last 10, won 4 in a row. The Knicks won 3 in a row, and they were 7-3. One of the hottest teams when Harden got back, and those are the Nets. They're only 6-4, but they've won 5 in a row. Sixers putting together an 8-2, as well as the Bucks over the last 10. So it is going to be a tussle, as we like to say. So having said all that, let's take a look at the upcoming play-in tournament. All right, so as you can see, tomorrow we're going to start out with Indiana versus Charlotte. And then it's going to be a very compelling game, Boston versus the Wizards. And then it is going to be Memphis versus San Antonio. And we're going to end it with the Lakers versus our Warriors. We cannot wait for this one. That is for sure. So we'll get back to the play-in tournament matchups real quick here, because obviously there were no details whatsoever on that. But first, let's hear from my favorite son-in-law and see how he's feeling about his Lakers.
Lakers are in.
Well, he's sure right about that. They're in the play-in tournament right along with the Warriors, and they're going to play each other. We're both in. We're both in. So now, even though we're both in, of course, since they ended up 7th and 8th, now most people are saying, oh, I hate the play-in. I wish it would just start, just like normal. 8 plays 1, 7 plays 2, and let's move on with it. You know, and there's certainly a lot of people like that. And here's a couple of old-timers tell you what they think about it.
I didn't like it. What did the avocado think? It's the pitch.
Just trying to keep everything light here. Just try to keep it light. Humor can be fun without all the vulgarity. Can't it? Yeah, maybe not as good sometimes. But anyway, thought you'd appreciate that again, seeing those guys again. All right, so let's take a closer look at the brackets. Apologies in advance if you cannot see the 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 teams in the East. But let's talk about them first, since they play tomorrow. The first game, Indiana versus Charlotte. That is at 6:30. And Indiana brings, you know, Brogdon is healthy. Hopefully Brogdon will be back. Karis LeVert has been going off. Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, Doug McDermott, Sabonis. They have got a heck of a team when they are healthy. Playing Charlotte, with who has they've been on a losing streak, but they also have been struggling with injuries. Hayward has been out for a few weeks now. LaMelo Ball just got back. Biyombo, Miles Bridges, the Martin brothers, Terry Rozier. They are definitely a tough team when they are all healthy. Now, let's see. Looking at the latest injury report, Brogdon, Aaron Holiday, LeVert, still to be determined. Miles Turner is out at least till June the 1st, so he'll be out for sure. Jeremy Lamb will be out till May the 20th. So, in regards to LeVert, his was due to illness, so hopefully he will be fine tomorrow. But the hamstring with Brogdon, you never know about hamstrings, so that is probably something ongoing. I don't have anything official at this point on either. Charlotte, they have been missing Gordon Hayward. He's not expected to return till the 21st. Same with Cody Martin, the 21st. So obviously it does look like they will miss tomorrow's games. Now, as for Boston and Washington, that is going to be an extremely compelling game. Now, Boston had many players that were game time decisions as of yesterday. Fournier, Walker, Tristan Thompson, Williams, Tatum, Marcus Smart. So expect them all to play. That is my opinion. But several of them, knees, neck, ankle, calf, those can all be, obviously serious injuries depending on what they are. But because they all say game time decisions as of yesterday, I would expect them to play tomorrow if there's any way possible. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is out. I do understand he had successful surgery, so that is great to hear. When it comes to the Wizards, the only one that was a game time decision, now that was another hamstring, that's Nato. So again, we know how those can be. So keep in mind the Celtics 4-6 over the last 10, the Wizards 6-4 over the last 10, and they have won 2 in a row. So I would say in terms of momentum, the Wizards have it going into this game, but this should be a very, very tough game to say the least. Now let's jump to the West for Wednesday's games. So as mentioned, Memphis versus San Antonio. That'll be the first game of the day, 7:30 Eastern time. And when we're looking at Memphis and San Antonio, Grizzlies were 6-4 over the last 10. The Spurs were 2-8. And as mentioned, the Spurs had lost 4 in a row. Grizzlies obviously lost to the Warriors, so I won't say momentum's actually with either team. I know Popovich is going to have the Spurs ready for this. The Grizzlies are going to be up for it as well, so it's certainly going to be an interesting contest to say the least. I'm just looking over the Spurs injury report, and I'm not seeing anything critical there. And when we look at Memphis, Grayson Allen and Sean McDermott, those guys could be huge contributors. They have been out. Now they were supposed to return. They were going to be game time decisions. I take that back. So game time decisions, on both of those. Now again, this was as of yesterday, and for them to be 100% healthy, I would hope by Wednesday they would be ready and available to play. And I'm just taking one more look at the San Antonio lineup. Daquan Jeffries is game time, and Trey Lyles as well. So that everybody else should be healthy, ready to go. So again, it's going to be an interesting contest, but nothing is going to be as interesting, as compelling, and as exciting as our Warriors going against the Southern California Los Angeles Lakers. So this is a 10 p.m. Eastern start time, so 7 p.m. West Coast, all you fans. And Warriors, as we know, Oubre, it says here out till May 23rd, so let's get past this play-in, and maybe we'll have him for the first round. That would be awesome. But, of course, Wiseman, and, of course, our beloved Klay Thompson, unfortunately out for the season. Damian Lee, game time decision, so hopefully he will be ready to face the arch rivals, LA Lakers. And they, from the injury report, appear to be healthy. Again, don't have the latest for today. Obviously, LeBron is back. Obviously, AD continues to have nagging injuries every other game. And has been battling with these for some time, but it should be a battle. So from a bracket perspective, let's start with the Warriors versus the Lakers. The winner of that 7 versus 8 will drop down to play the bottom of the bracket. You can see it there. They'll play the Phoenix Suns, who captured the 2nd seed, and the loser between the Warriors and the Lakers will play on Friday, May 21st. It looks like time is to be determined. And they're playing the winner of Memphis versus the Spurs. Now, the winner out of that game is going to play the number 1 seed, Utah Jazz. So this is building up to be a very, very exciting week. And then they will launch into the NBA championship tournament, if you will, where we just talked about the Jazz playing the winner of that team, and the winner of 7 and 8 playing the Phoenix Suns, but then Denver playing Portland, the Clippers playing Dallas. All these are going to be considered first round games. And then jumping back over to the East, where you can see the Knicks and Atlanta are going to play each other, and then of course the Bucks versus the Heat, which I had mentioned earlier. That's going to be just an amazing series. Miami is going to give everybody trouble, at least when it comes to the bottom four teams coming out of that particular first round. That Miami Heat squad is going to be tough, to say the least. All right, that is going to do it as far as the bracket coverage goes. So in light of the Lakers and Warriors matchup, I wanted to leave you with this. Yeah, I know I just showed it the other day, but it means even more today, and it will mean even more on Wednesday. Enjoy this.
Cross court, got it to Durant, back to Curry. James trying to harass Curry. Curry off the dribble, layup off the glass.
I never get tired of watching that over and over and over again. There's so many more I could put in there. As we all know, we've seen this so many times. All right, Warrior fans, that's going to do it for today. I want to leave you with this picture of Steph because, man, leading candidate for MVP, and I think there's a rumor that even LeBron has stated that as well for everything that Steph has done this season. So kudos to the both of them. And I'm also going to leave you with one last Warriors cheer. But before I go, and before you see that, as always, let's go Warriors, and you all stay healthy out there. Take care of yourselves, and enjoy the upcoming games for the rest of this week. It's going to be something. Take care. Go Dubs.